Just buy a Kit Kat. Hello everybody, it's Barry here. Hope I actually touched the lens. Is there a blob there? Hope you did it from distance. Oh well, welcome to the kitchen. Today's video came out a couple of nights ago. I was talking to Phoebe basically, and if you remember, about a week ago, I did Chloe's birthday cakes. She ended up with 2, and I felt a little bit bad. Although Phoebe's birthday is coming up in April, I thought, I asked her the other night, I was like, what's your favourite thing? And she absolutely loves Kit Kats. There was a series I did last year. I think I did an emergency peanut butter cup. Yeah, I want some of that. And a Snickers as well. I'm going to try and do a Kit Kat one. Now the theory of this is basically if you've got a bit of an emergency and you've got someone who really likes a specific thing, like the Snickers or the peanut butter cup, that you can make it in under an hour in an emergency, like nice and quick. So hopefully today we'll do this Kit Kat, and well, I better check that. I want to make sure she's here somewhere. Right, before I start,
yes,
you legitimately want a big what?
Kit Kat.
And it's not going to be a cake, you realise that? It's just going to be a huge Kit Kat finger.
Okay.
Is that alright?
Yes.
Do you want any writing on the top?
Kit Kat.
Really?
Yes.
Don't want Phoebe? Alright, cool. Bye.
Is that for me?
No, just wait.
Okay.
Kit Kats, right? They are actually effectively 2 ingredients. They have the chocolate, and then in the middle of each finger there is like a stack of wafers. Now what holds it together is actually bits of Kit Kat that don't make it past the approval process, and it get whizzed up into a paste which then bonds the wafers together to support those stacks that get drenched in chocolate and create that slab that Phoebe absolutely loves. So we can pretty much replicate that. Instead of using recycled Kit Kats, even though we do have some in the drawer, it's kind of like Phoebe's stash, we're going to use some chocolate spread. I think we've done that before when we made the massive Kit Kat. But then today we're going to try and do something. I came up with this idea last night to try and get the writing on top that Phoebe wants. We're going to use some ready rolled icing. And that's the first thing we're going to do, is roll out the icing so I know it's roughly that shape to give me my area for my letters. I mean, that is going to be way too thick. I want to get it actually fairly thin. We just want to make that indentation. Ooh, it's actually room temperature. I can push it with my hands anyway. It's kind of like edible Play-Doh. That was what I was thinking. I was in the supermarket last night and had a moment. And if you follow me on Twitter, I also had a moment where I saw someone that I like them, but if I talk to them, I'm there for hours. I had my face mask on, my hat on. I was like, they're not going to recognize me. And they're like, hey, Barry. I'm like, hiya. And woof, gone. Cut around just a rough area so I know that is my actual limit of where I can do my lettering, as I said before. Okay, I am rubbish at this sort of stuff. So I'm going to go in just a little bit here. I'm going to start with the upper part of the K. I'm just going to do the outline at first. All right. You see that, folks? I have got my K, and we'll jump to me hopefully having lots of letters. I might change my knife actually to a craft knife. It's got a bit of a rounded edge on it, so it's not getting it great. All right then, folks, I'm actually really happy with how that's panned out. I'm not very good at stuff like this in general. I'm not going to do the circle around it. Actually, maybe I will. Maybe I will. Yeah, let's do that. It's just very fiddly, and I know after all this effort now, I'm going to end up putting it in the wrong way around, so it says tactic. Hey, that's a bad tactic. The other thing was I had immense pressure with these guys pretending they weren't staring at me, but you were, weren't you? You were just watching my every move. Yeah, that was like way harder than it should have been. I wish you said, I don't want letters, Dad, it's fine. All right. No idea what this is going to look like even still now, look. But you can see that will spell Kit Kat. I've just shortened the K's a little bit though, because I think I can get that, just that little band, just one loop of yellow icing around the edge there to touch there. I'm just going to roll out a little snake of it and see if we can bond it together. This stuff is temperamental though, so it's a little bit like a gremlin. Don't make it wet, okay? Don't feed it after midnight. I've got to keep making it thinner though, because I want to try and get the circle around it.
Can I just say though, there's no circle around the actual Kit Kat bar.
Isn't there?
No. I don't think so.
There isn't, is there?
No. It's just
You're absolutely right. That is fine. What the heck am I doing? Thank goodness you're here.
Hashtag my break.
Hashtag my break. All right, this is a branded video. Brilliant.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Don't forget to check out Kit Kat.
I'm wrong.
You're wrong?
I'm wrong.
So I'm right. Sorry?
But it's only half.
What? So there was a moment there where I thought, she's right. Which is normally most of the time in our relationship, if you're wondering, folks. I think we might have done that. We've nailed it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I've just realised. My camera here, it spins it down in reverse. It's a mirror. That literally says Kit Kat on the camera. Amazing. Wait a minute. Does that mean... No. I'm looking in the mirror. That's right. We're right? What? Yes, it's fine. It's fine, right? Not going to touch that for a minute. I'm going to have a break, no pun intended. And last year I did, when the start of the lockdown, I did homemade Kit Kats from scratch, completely from scratch. Partly because to make the wafer filling, the easiest thing to get is some ice cream wafers. Now, if you have not seen that video, do check it out. But I explored about 6 different supermarkets and could not find these rectangular wafers, which are absolutely perfect. In fact, I ended up making my own homemade wafers. They were a little bit misshaped, but they tasted sensational. If I had that last year, it would have saved me a lot of time, and this is what we're using. Doesn't need to be perfect, because we have to make a lot of these rafts, and by simply sticking one on top of the other, we have got ourselves the start of our epic emergency Kit Kat wafer filling. If you want to make homemade ones, by all means do it. Check out that video, but this is way easier. Now, I was going to come on to this about trimming them, but luckily the width of this wafer is the perfect size for this tin, so I've kind of fluked that. But if you have a slightly larger tin or a smaller one, you can actually add some additional rows if you need to. So I'm going to make some rafts, and I'll see you in a bit. Folks, I'm not sure if this is going to work. I think the chocolate might get under the logo, and it could just make a mess, but doesn't matter. I've got some chocolate here in chunks and also some finely chopped stuff, so we're going to do like a bodged temper. If you are doing this as an emergency thing, I'm not expecting you to maybe go as crazy or properly temper your chocolate unless you really want to get that nice shine on it. But basically I put about 75% of the chocolate, 30-second blast, stirring it in between, and then we've got some finely chopped spare chocolate to add in to sort of seed it at the end. I do have a chocolate tempering machine, but this isn't about that today. This is about this. And this is where we're going to move quite fast because we want to use that residual heat to help melt the seed, and then we just fold it in and let that melt it naturally, okay? All right, folks, that's pretty much lump free now. It's the moment of truth. We've got to quickly get the chocolate in around those letters to set it for the top. That gives us a foundation for our rafts. So I'm bringing the Kit Kat bit in like so, and I'm just hoping it doesn't move it too much. Okay, that's cool. Probably can't hear that, but there is a pug snoring in the background. It's making this whole process very therapeutic for me. I'm just gonna... Okay, this is going straight in the freezer right now to give it a slab for our wafers to sit on. So I'm gonna give it 5 minutes in the freezer just to get it tacky. Boom. Yeah, that's the whole thing when I do these emergency ones. I've just shoved it straight in my freezer for the time being because it is all about doing this in a complete hurry. Like I say, the lettering has taken a fair amount of my time. If you don't do that, it'd probably be done by now. All right, believe it or not, that has only been 2 minutes and I can just touch it and it's tacky. It doesn't need to be solid set just yet. We've now got the perfect platform for our wafers, which hopefully should go in here. Oh yes. Oh my gosh, this is tricky. There you go, there you go. And now we drench it in our chocolate that's left over. It's been patiently sat on the side, and I'm just gonna pour straight on top like this. And hope that I have enough chocolate, because it doesn't look like I do. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I don't have enough chocolate. I literally don't have enough. Oh my gosh. Off to the shops I go. Just nipped to the shops. Got loads more chocolate, like double I got yesterday, and I also got some bread for some lunch. Let's get back. I really hope it hasn't set. I was mulling over getting white chocolate so I could do like, you know, they do these two-tone chocolate Kit Kats that are like, wow, this camera's close. Like white on the bottom. I think they do it cookies and cream one. Should I go get some? No, I'm not. Let's go. 20 minutes later, that's the fastest I've ever been around that shop, and this should now be enough. Brilliant. Look at that. Tappy tap, 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 tap. I've got a massive blob of melted chocolate on my microphone. So while this is in the freezer, that's what I'm going to be spending my time doing, getting that off. My emergency Kit Kat has turned into quite an epic day. Alright, that should be able to get it set. Alright, so it was in the freezer for 30 minutes and it is now still a bit soft. It was just tap that bit, it was rock up right back in the freezer. And here it is, folks. Look, you can just about see the outline of the wafer, but that's fine. It is all nice and level when you look like that. It is freezing, but the weight of it, remember there's about 2 kilos of chocolate alone in that. It will just pop out of that. It's just got to kind of go, oh, I'm free. That's the dance it does. I just don't want it sticking to the wood, so I'm putting it on a non-slip, a Barry Lewis seal pat, but any sort of baking parchment would do. There's actually 20% off for the whole of January and February on the seal pats, cake stands and veggie prep kits. I'm not sure if you can see what's happening, folks. This didn't happen last time. It fell almost out immediately. My concern is, as it gets more to room temperature, it's getting slightly more, I don't know, gummy or more clay-like in texture rather than being firm chocolate that should just shear off the edge of the same tin that I used before. So I'm going to set this again. I might leave it overnight, but this time in the fridge, just to make sure that those edges stay firm. And yeah. Might see you tomorrow. Emergency 1 hour Kit Kat. Grease your tin maybe. Or a little line paper. It's much better if I leave this thing overnight and then worry about it tomorrow. Oh my gosh, why isn't it just popping out of the case? My only feeling is that maybe it's not completely set in the middle, but it was in the freezer for over an hour. Just watched my video back and I remembered what I did last time. I put it in the freezer initially because I didn't want to turn it into an ice lolly, and then I put it in the fridge for an hour. It's now been in the fridge for about an hour, but it's extremely dark in the kitchen now. I don't know what to do. The family have just gone out to the shop for a moment, so maybe when they get back I'll see if the light's good. If not, we'll do it in the morning. And in that video as well, I was struggling to get it out, so it's brilliant. Just buy a Kit Kat. Morning everyone. So it's been in the fridge overnight and I've let it at room temperature for like 20 minutes. It's time to hack this up. I'm gonna have to pick a side. So I'm gonna go here. Oh my gosh. That sort of lifted out then when I did that. There we go. Let's see if just doing one side like that will help this. There we go. I feel like deja vu, come on. I didn't really want to do this, but oh, there we go. There we go, that has lifted that. Oh, it's a bit weird. It is a bit weird. That's amazing. That is so weird. So I'm going to get the sharpest knife I can and see if I can, oh no, I can get it out, but it's going to take a while. I'm carving out the icing, can you see? Give me a minute. Right, it's literally half an hour later. I've scraped as much of it as I can out with a bamboo skewer and also a pastry brush for any of the crumbs. I wouldn't suggest doing that. Baking parchment wrapped letters would be way better, but I'm actually surprised that it worked. But one thing I am going to do, a little bit of chocolate here like that, and then just in there. Nothing too crazy, but just to add a little bit of life to it. In retrospect, I should have probably used brown icing if I was doing this step, but it's quite nice to sort of show you this journey so you don't have to. Look how much, that looks so much better. What is that?
I don't know.
Is that a gadget that's arrived?
Can you open it?
No, I don't know what that is. Find out on the next video, folks, alright? Bit busy. Oh wow, that looks amazing!
Whoa!
Oh, look, can you guess what that is? So, in conclusion, you can make this very quickly. Just, if you want to do the lettering, that's fine, like I did. Oh my gosh. That is so tough.
Oh my gosh.
Turn it round, mate. Turn it round. Look at that. That is worth it. Don't do the letters, folks. It's still a Kit Kat without letters, or we'll do it a different way. I think that's the best way to do it, is to cut it into little wedges like that, because if you're gonna have a big old wedge like this size, you're gonna need to go for a 50,000-mile walk. Is that good? Does it taste like a Kit Kat? Suddenly all the pain was worth it. Oh my gosh. There we go then, folks, another emergency in the bag. It will take a lot less time if you don't play around with the letters, I promise you. If you want to do an easier one, the peanut butter cup one, or the Snickers one was kind of along these lines too. But was that all right? Mm-hmm. Tastes good. Pretty much 3 ingredients too. Nice bit of fun. See you next time. Bye!
Check your level, player. No matter what your style, the kitchen's for me. Simon's moustache, goatee, maybe all 3.
I caught you contemplating life then. Can you just do that face again? Yeah, it's like me and my Kit Kat. Is life complete now? Mm-hmm.